live any minute now.
Yes. So I have to move that, don't I?
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
We're now live. Welcome everyone to another edition of Wine and Whiskey Wednesday with the hot ninjas. Cheers, everyone. Hope you're all doing awesome. You don't like my hot?
Cheers.
You always laugh when I say it.
Well, I love the emphasis on the T. Hot.
Yeah.
It was 2 T's. So you have to emphasize the second T.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Anniversary.
Your
Okay,
arm.
that was weird. Did you see that? That your arm went off of wherever the green screen was, and it looked like you had no arm.
Oh, yeah.
You have to watch it in the replay. It was the other arm.
Yeah.
You'll have to watch it in the replay. It was just so.
Yeah. It
It's
flashes
so-
in and out.
That's my funky background.
Yeah, that's just weird. Okay.
That
Here
is.
Mr. Salmanis coming to join us. Okay, so it is our
There he is.
year anniversary, first birthday of Wine and Whiskey Wednesday, which is really quite awesome. So it's going to be a celebration, which is why Steve has fireworks behind him. Hey, Brad, how are you?
I didn't read the memo. Happy birthday.
Hey, Brad.
Hi.
Yeah, so
Hey, Sarah, Jacqueline.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, Brad.
So our first episode was actually January 16th, which was after last week, but before this week. But so this is our first one a year later. And so it's going to be a birthday celebration. It's going to be a little bit of a different format. But I thought that I would start by, so I actually went back and watched the first episode of Wine and Whiskey Wednesday. And for those of you who picked up with us later on in the year, or are new tonight watching, the Wine and Whiskey Wednesday originally started in our Kninja Facebook group, it's a Facebook group called Kninja Knetwork Accounting Professionals. And so the first one was in that group, and I watched it, and we moved it into the public Facebook page. I'm going to say over the summer or fall. So if you want to watch the original episodes, you'll have to be a member of our Facebook group, and you can see the older episodes. I don't know, Steve, have you loaded the older episodes onto the YouTube channel as well?
I have not.
Okay, so then if you want to see the first episodes of Wine and Whiskey, hey, Suzanne, how are you? You have to log into the Facebook group. And so I was watching the first episode, and it was actually quite interesting. So it was January 16th, but our Christmas tree was still up. So you'll be so proud, Steve, that our tree is down and came down like weeks before the 1 year anniversary.
Good question. Was I there, Juliet? Because that sounds awfully familiar.
Yes, you were.
Okay.
I was
I remember we were giving you a hard time about your Christmas tree still being up.
Yes,
Okay.
but I had explained why the tree was still up. It was because we were back to back. Everybody was sick over the holidays. So we hadn't done Christmas with our grandkids yet. And so the tree was still up because all the presents were still under the tree. And so that's why our tree was still up. And that was the excuse that I used anyway.
And perhaps you'd like to explain why the tree is not up this year.
Because you took it down.
Yes, because last year I had to rent a truck, put the tree in the back of a truck and drive it to the dump because we missed all of the Christmas tree pickups. And I said I was not doing that again.
Yes, that's right. So exactly, that's what I said, right? Steve said it had to come down, so it came down. But what I also thought was interesting, so our first one, hey, Shannon and Linda, welcome. The other thing that I thought was interesting about our first one, and it might have been our first couple, we did from our living room downstairs instead of our individual rooms. And we had done that so that Steve and I would be in the same room, and very quickly nixed that idea and decided we're going to be in separate rooms and do it because it was just so much work to set it up for every Wednesday. We had to move computers and monitors and big screens and set everything up so that we could see it. And, so we said, that if it's that much work, Wine and Whiskey Wednesday is going to die a very quick death. And so we decided to make it a little bit easier, and now we're in separate rooms and doing it. And then the other thing I thought was interesting off of one of the first episodes was we talked about why we started it, and that we weren't sure, we were going to give it a try for a couple weeks and see if anyone showed up and see if anyone, participated in the conversation or got any value out of it. And so I think it's really cool that we're a year later, and that we're all still here. And Sarah, I know you were on the first one. Brad, you were on the first one. Suzanne, you were on the first one.
We rock.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. And I don't know if there is anyone in our audience who was on the first one as well. And I've got an echo going here. But no, I think it's awesome that you guys have supported us for the whole year. So thank you very much. And am I frozen, or are you guys all frozen?
You're frozen.
You are frozen.
You're unfrozen.
Okay, I'm unfrozen. Okay. Okay, so tonight's episode of Wine and Whiskey Wednesday, we're not really going to stick with the hot theme. Anything that you would like to share, Steve, about our year-long journey?
It's been long, is all I can say. No, there's nothing I could add, Juliet. You've done such an awesome job of introducing and providing the background.
Okay, you usually have something to say, so I was giving you the opportunity so that you couldn't say that I didn't give you the chance to say anything.
I told you I'm trying to turn over a new leaf.
Okay. So maybe one of the first questions for everyone is, what was everyone's favorite episode over the last year? Is there one that jumps out or sticks out for you over the last year?
There's so many webinars and things that I watch. It's hard to narrow it down to just your group, because there's just so many different ones I'm watching.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not memorable. That's not a good thing.
Well, no, you're memorable.
I just don't remember a specific one myself. I'm with Sarah. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Which one? Wage Point? Yeah, Shred was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was
did
good.
great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think for me it would be a toss-up between Wage Point and Dan.
Yeah, Dan was good too.
Okay, so both two really recent ones. Is that just because we were just kind of getting into our groove over the last year? It was actually funny as I was watching it, how many of them started out with, "Are we live? Can anybody tell whether we're live or not?"
Is that
How many
Facebook?
ones started out that way?
Yeah. I
Yeah, so
also
at least
I also enjoyed the one we did from San Jose.
Yeah.
That was
fun.
pretty cool. Yeah, that was good as well.
You mean out in the hallway there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I provided the wine.
There you go. That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was fun. It was kind of very spontaneous, and we were catching people as they were walking by, and yeah, it was good.
I'm still bummed I missed that one, because I was probably back in my hotel room because I was sick at what are you talking about? The one in you said San Jose.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm still trying to figure out how many W-2s and 1099s I still need to get out.
Excellent. So we've got some new people that have joined. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Mariette. Welcome. Mariette was at our first one as well a year ago. So that's awesome that you're back to join us.
Yep.
And so is my internet.
Yes.
I like the
being
group
really-
just
it's
because of
not
the
agreed tonight.
way that you offer things. I think it's a little different than some of the other groups. So I enjoy your topics.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to start out with some trivia. And we have, as I said, or as our posts, and you'll have to excuse, we had lots of tech fails this week with posts. So we had posts on Monday that went out and said, hey, it's Wine and Whiskey tonight, which it wasn't obviously on Monday. And then today, this afternoon, we had posts that went out that said, join us tonight on Wine and Whiskey Wednesday. We're live from QB Connect. So we were having some tech fails. But as I said in one of the posts somewhere, we've got prizes. So we have lots of prizes. You guys should see what my desk looks like. So we have Hot Ninja t-shirts that are going out. We've got Ninja nail files that are going out. We've
I
got a
need
bunch of
one.
these.
I need one. My nails are too long right now.
We've got books that
I
we're
want a
going that are
book.
going out. And we will sign the books. It may decrease the value of your book for you, but you're going to get it that it's a signed book. So those are the Ninja swag for the prizes. And then we've got a whole bunch of non-Ninja swag as well. So we've got Intuit, it's a running shoe, I guess.
Oh, I
Intuit-
lost mine. I want that.
Okay, perfect.
It matches my real shoe. Just a little smaller.
You have real shoes that look like that?
Totally.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got Chuck Taylor's in the high top, and
Okay, so
we
this-
got those, and I'd lost mine.
Okay, so this
somewhere.
has your name on it, Brad. We'll get this one to you.
Okay,
I think I've got more than one.
nice.
And then we've got other vendor shirts. So we've got an on-pay shirt. We've got Chatta shirts.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
We've got, there was a t-shirt
Juliet,
shirt
you
on
have-
here on my desk, which is rolled off. So there's t-shirt shirts.
Juliet,
T-shirt,
Juliet, you
socks,
you have to explain something.
Okay.
Why is it we are on the same intranet and you keep freezing and I don't?
Because I
One
need
of
a
you,
new
one
computer.
one of you wired, and one's wireless.
No, we're both wireless. It's
Both
because
wireless.
I need a computer. I need a new computer.
Who's closest to the router? To the
Me.
Wi-Fi?
Steve is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the router is in Steve's room.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm,
no, there it goes. He's got the stronger signal.
I'm probably hogging bandwidth.
Yeah, probably. Okay, and then we've got some notebooks. And we've got some water bottles. And the grand prize that will come filled is we have a collector's edition QuickBooks Connect knapsack. I think it's 2018.
2018. I had 3 of
2018.
those.
Well, okay, so then you're not
Had.
getting this one. You have
No,
three?
Yeah, I've actually got 2.
Okay,
I
so
gave
we
one
have
away.
a ton of swag coming, and just let me move it out of the way here. And there's going to be a couple different ways that you can win the swag. You have to be online, either on the screen or in the chat. You can win either way. We're not restricting it to only people that are online.
Juliet,
Yes,
am I eligible?
no,
Oh, okay.
you're not. You're not. Plus, you know all the answers to all the questions. So no, you're not.
Good point.
So you either have to be online or in the chat at some point. So the first way that you can win some swag, and this is completely self-serving, and I admit that it's completely self-serving, is subscribe to our YouTube channel. So you'll jump onto YouTube, say that and then in the chat, post that you've subscribed to our YouTube channel. So that's one way that you can earn some swag in case you can't answer any of the questions. And if you do get the answer to the question, and thank you, Janice. So Janice is already subscribed. Awesome.
I
So
think I've
the one-
subscribed already too.
I think I am too. But
Oh,
okay,
my.
perfect. Excellent, even better. So there's lots of different ways that you can win. We haven't really given any thought as to how we're going to know who the winner is, though. So Steve, have you thought about that?
No.
The logistics. So we didn't really think this one through. Okay, we'll work it out as we go along.
Yeah, I think if just, send us an email and then with your address and we can send it out to you.
Yes, perfect. That's it.
I mean, we got to get the address or we can't send it,
Yes.
right? Can't send it without the address.
Yes, good point. Good point. Okay, so the first one is really easy. We're going to start off really easy. How many QB Connect conferences were there last year?
4.
4.
We lost
I'm
her.
frozen, so I had no idea who answered that.
Me.
Or
For
Brad was first, then I think it was it Sarah?
yeah, she's right behind.
Okay. And can you name them?
London.
UK, San Jose, Australia, Toronto.
Okay. Okay. All right. So the second question is, who is the rock star in our tribe that got called on stage to play an instrument that they didn't know how to play?
Gee, I wonder. So, am I eligible for this one?
Tannis.
No, you're not.
Brad and Tannis.
Right. Well, Tannis
said
knows how to play the piano, but yeah.
Yes, it was a trick question. It was me.
Yes. Okay. And that, are you still riding high off of that, Brad?
Yeah, it was cool. I'm actually part of her Facebook group. And I get emails and she does videos once in a while in there. I wish I had more time to hang out in there, but yeah, she's still trying to get her up here actually to do a speaking gig.
Very
Been
cool.
asking around.
Well,
yeah, that would be really neat.
some of you might have seen the post that I posted. I don't know if it was me that posted it or Ninja that posted it in our Facebook group this afternoon, which actually got a lot of interest and I was quite surprised. It
Private
was
island.
the trip to Belize, the island
Yeah.
where you actually rent a private island.
Yeah.
And it was for 19 people at $200 a night, and you're actually on a private island, and it was food and drink, and there's a chef, and so it was actually, it was posted to be funny, which
Oh, you're serious, are you?
but
I knew that would happen. I figured that would happen so bad as soon as I seen it. And I'm like, I bet Juliet just threw it out there. And then all of a sudden there's interest.
Now it's
The
booked.
entrepreneur mind starts humming. Oh, there is interest. Oh, there's a market for this. Oh, we should totally do this. Oh, let's figure out the
It's
logistics.
starting to sound like that Fire Island thing.
The whole thing is planned.
But when you open it up, it's $500 a night, even though the subject says $200 a night.
Oh, really?
Oh,
in the
that's
actual
just small
content?
change for us, you guys.
But I wonder if it's time of year that you're going or something then? I don't
think
know.
there's, yeah.
So
But even if
is
not
it
that
actually
one.
happening now? Is it a thing? It's gonna happen?
Sarah's going. She's already signed up.
What I'd like to know is how real the interest was. Like, were people just saying, yeah, I'd love to go, but when it came down to it, nobody would go?
Well, in my mind, I wanted to go now, so I think that's what I was thinking. It was a bit spontaneous.
It seemed like a whole lot of girls chimed in. There wasn't a lot of male chiming in,
Well,
Brad.
it looks like it
Well, maybe
doesn't
that's
matter.
what
It's
we
a
need
private
to-
island. I'll just go hang out in my little corner of the island and let you guys all do your thing.
That's where the 2-year
Are you coming,
anniversary
Steve?
of Kninja Network should, or
Absolutely.
the Wine and Whiskey
Okay.
Wednesday.
Steve and I'll go hang out in one
Okay.
corner, and you guys can hang out on the other.
Well, we need to go and catch some sea bass, Brad.
Yes, we'll get some sea
It
bass.
looked
We'll
like
mark
one of
off
the
our.
cabins had a dock all to itself with the
There you
little
go.
cabin on the end.
Yes. Yeah,
There's
yeah,
the
no,
sea
it's,
bass hut. Yeah, that's
Yep.
where the bromance happens.
all right. So maybe we'll revisit it and see whether there's any interest of doing a mastermind class, mastermind group.
Oh, we have to
Ninja-
work down there? Oh, okay.
Well, the only way it can be a business write-off is if it's actually a conference.
Well, you could do like my boss used to do years ago. We'd go out for lunch and then he'd say, so how's it going? And I'd say, great. And he said, what are you working on? Oh, I'm doing this. Okay, done. And that would be the extent of it. Then he'd write down the back of the receipt, lunch with Brad. And that would be the extent of it. I didn't say
Okay.
that out loud, did I?
Yeah.
You did, yes, you did.
Shit.
I love the idea of a
We
mastermind.
don't usually have CRA watching Wine and Whiskey Wednesday, though, so I think you're okay.
Well, you never know.
So Janice said that it's a perfect accounting retreat, but there's no voting anyone off the island. Okay. All right. So we'll revisit that topic and see whether or not maybe that's something we do in 2020, Steve.
It's
Yeah.
2020. What the
Okay.
heck was that?
All right. So next trivia question is, who was the CEO of Intuit that was a KISS fan?
Brad Smith. Gene Simmons is his best friend. I think we lost you.
Well, that's the
Okay,
answer.
so
Brad Smith.
Tracy just read it and she said it's 675 a person a night. Okay, so we'll have to revisit whether that's the resort that we go to. So the people that are in the chat have a disadvantage from the people that are on screen and
delayed.
answering questions.
Oh yeah,
They
there's a delay.
possibly, they can't possibly type it fast enough.
That's why they got to log in. Just put the link in there and say, "Come on in." What are you afraid of? If you want to win something, you gotta get every advantage you can.
Okay, so I'm going to post the link again. Oops. Uh-oh. Hold on. I've just lost.
More people are gonna log in because you're giving away stuff. You watch.
Okay, so I can't click on the link again because then it launches Zoom again for me. Scroll up to the top of the description of this video and the Zoom link is in there if you'd like to join us online. Okay, so next. Yeah, so Tracy says that Brad, you're just too quick and that I should mute you.
Well, that was an easy one though. I was surprised no one had answered it yet.
Okay, so,
Brad,
so now the questions are going to get a little harder. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
I don't think that's the first time someone has suggested Brad should be muted.
Watch it, Steve.
Oh, now.
Love you, Brad. Love you.
Yeah.
No
Sure you
doubt.
do.
Okay.
Just wait
All
till the
right, so the
camera goes
second
off. I know it really happens.
So the second question, still related to Brad Smith, since that was the answer to the last question, is how much is Brad Smith worth?
As of December 31st, 2019.
And no Googling the answer.
He doesn't hold a candle to me.
Well, we know that.
He's got a lot of money. That's all I know.
Yeah.
A lot more than I have.
He's worth more than a lot of people. 15,
Guess it?
20 million, 100 million.
No,
100
here's
million.
the real answer. He is worth more than everybody on this call combined.
Well, that would be
Tell me
hard.
I'm wrong.
He made some good coin. He was there for a while and he's got options. He's still a director and he's just a smart guy. So he's probably worth more than Elon Musk, but not quite. Got me. No Googling.
Okay, so anyone going to give me a guess?
Net worth? Is this his net worth at the end of the
Yes.
year?
Net worth at the end of the year.
I'm going to
120 million.
say
Okay.
150 million.
Okay, so Brad is 150.
Dad,
Sarah,
you're
did you
20.
guess?
120.
Sorry, 120.
I think it's around
Okay.
100, but I'm shooting high.
Anybody else? Any other guesses? How about in the chat? Any guesses? Stacy says 300 mil.
Ooh, she Googled it.
Hi. Hi, Dan. Hi, Dan.
Okay. And Tracy says 11 million.
You
Okay,
made
so the
that in 1 year.
answer is 117 million
Oh, I
at
know
the
that.
end of December 31st, 2019.
That's
So the
Sarah's.
closest to that is Sarah.
She Googled. I saw her in her eyes. She was Googling. She rounded up.
I want the nail
Okay.
file.
Okay. Nail file is on its
And
way
a
for you.
t-shirt. A t-shirt would be awesome.
Okay, perfect. Yes, so when you're sending address, please do send me t-shirt size as well. With the Kninja ones, I can certainly give sizes. The vendors or the app partner ones, I only have limited sizes, but I will do my best. Okay, next question.
I'm not allowed t-shirts.
Why not?
I have too many. Courtney's figured out which ones that I sort of support and ones I don't. She's even said, why don't you get rid of that Hubdoc t-shirt? You don't even support them anymore. She said that to me once. So I don't want to sneak them in.
Hey, Suzanne, who's your friend?
A very very emotional. Here, hold on. Let me say hi. This is my baby. Well, one of them.
Yes.
This is Icy. So, she's a Brittany Spaniel.
Yes. Very cute.
Yeah, she keeps on bugging at the door, so I finally just let her in.
I had 2 Brittany Spaniels.
We're very
there you
dog
go.
friendly.
Very friendly dog.
Okay. All right, next question. We're getting harder. Somebody's got dancing music for the party?
No, it's name that tune now.
That was my
Oh,
phone,
that
sorry.
would have been a good one. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that's a good one, Steve. And Steve, you need to dig up a quote. And one of the questions is going to be, whose quote is this? So find a quote meanwhile.
Oh my
Because I like
God.
that question.
Leave it.
Okay. All right. So the next one is, who is Scott? Does everybody know who Scott Cook is?
Yep.
The founder of Intuit? Okay. So who is Scott Cook's daughter-in-law?
Ooh,
Ms. Cook.
it's somebody. I've heard this before, but it's so vague now because that goes back 4 years. So you got me.
There's bonus points if you get this one.
Yes, because it's a hard one. I know it's a hard one. Any
It's
guesses?
somebody of note.
No Googling. No Googling, people. Nobody knows?
I forget.
I don't even know
I've
how
heard
I
this
heard
one.
about it.
I've heard this one.
And I'm frozen. Frozen.
You're moving again.
Okay. I can't. Okay, so nobody knows this one. No guesses.
Well, you won't let us
Okay.
Google.
No, you can't Google. Okay, so the answer to this one is Penny from Big Bang Theory.
Ah.
Is Scott Cook.
That was an easy one. I should have known that. Who? Which one's Penny?
The blonde, Kaylee, the blonde.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Stacy Googled it and she still doesn't know who she is. She's Penny from Big Bang Theory. Okay.
Leonard's wife at the end or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to watch Big Bang Theory though to know who that is. Okay. All right. So a couple more questions to go. We've got, the next one is, what is our being Kninja and AIS, what is our chairman of the board's name?
Nina. I don't know.
That was a good guess.
It's gotta be Nina. Steve.
No, I was fired, Brett.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. She's still holding that against you, huh?
Yeah, I know. You had to bring it up.
Stacy guessed Nina as well. Anybody else? Any guesses?
Yet?
Okay, so do you want to give him a hint, Steve?
No.
What was the question again?
What is the name of AIS and Ninja's chairman of the board?
That would be
Okay,
you.
so
You had to be paying attention. Well, no, I guess I was going to say you had to be paying attention back in the fall of 2017, but that's not true.
no, he's
You
on
would
our
have actually-
website.
You would have met him several times over the last year on Wine and Whiskey.
Yes, he's actually on Wine and Whiskey in the background.
Little plastic ninja guy?
Nina, nope.
I think
That
it's
would
your
be-
dog. Isn't it your dog?
Our dog.
I can't remember the dog's name. No.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Godfrey.
Godfrey.
There it is.
Godfrey is our dog,
Yeah.
and he's sleeping in the corner in between behind all those pillows.
Yeah, you can't even see it. Can I do my
Yeah.
quote now? I just found a good one.
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
So hold
No,
on, before you do, did Tracy answer our dog before we said it was our dog?
Yeah, I think she did.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right, Tracy.
Everybody's a winner. Everybody's a winner.
Okay. Okay,
Step
go
right
for
on.
it. You're ready
Oh,
for your quote.
It's my quote now? Okay.
Yeah.
So who said this? When I was 5 years old, My mother always told me that happiness was the key to life. When I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down happy. They told me I didn't understand the assignment, and I told them they didn't understand life.
I've heard that one before, but I don't remember who said it.
I don't remember who said it either.
Is it Forrest Gump?
No.
Good guess.
Good guess, but no.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Mm.
Any guesses?
Okay, should I give a clue?
Well, let's see
Will
first.
Smith?
Give it a minute. See if anybody knows. Because you
Okay,
got to give the people in the chat a couple seconds to type as well. And again, no Googling.
My guess is either Will Smith or Robin Williams.
good
See, and I'm
guesses.
thinking it's somebody like Mark Twain or somebody.
Wow, these are all good guesses.
Hi, Catherine. Hi,
I'm
Mariana. Thanks for joining us. Okay, go ahead. Give them a clue.
Okay,
So
He
Betty
was-
guessed Bill Gates.
sorry.
Betty in the chat guessed Bill Gates.
Another good guess, however incorrect. He was the member of a very famous rock band.
I'm thinking John Lennon or Freddie Mercury.
John Lennon is
Oh, it
the
was
correct-
John Lennon. Yeah,
Yes.
it was John Lennon.
Was John Lennon? I got it?
Yeah. It was John Lennon.
Okay.
Sarah gets a second nail file.
Oh, I'd really like the book too. I don't have your book
Okay.
yet.
You don't have our book. Okay.
No,
All
I
right.
don't need any more swag of
T-shirt?
other people. I have
Okay.
enough.
Just ninja swag. Well, the ninja swag is the
Ninja
coolest.
swag, yes, I'll sport the ninja swag with
cool.
pride.
Okay, so next question. What does HOT, as in Hot Ninjas, stand for?
Shit.
It's on the shirt, isn't it?
Hiring, onboarding, training, and to
To
So close, so close.
Training, isn't it? Training is the
she
last
said
one.
training.
I said training. I don't know what the other
Yeah.
team.
The first T. What's the last T?
So far, Suzanne gets 3/4 of a nail file.
Talent,
Is it team?
team.
Team.
Yeah.
It's team, I think.
You get a quarter.
Yeah, you get a quarter. We'll share it with you. This,
Okay,
Awesome.
cool. Okay, so when I say welcome, brought to you by the Hot Ninjas, I actually need to say what the HOTT is for. Okay, all right, next one. So it's another ninja one. Who knows the definition of a ninja with the letter K?
That's a tough one. I think if somebody knows that, you should send them to Belize.
I'm gonna Google.
So does anybody know what the definition of ninja is with the letter K in front of it, the way that we spell it?
A warrior?
'Cause it is an actual word.
But
It's
I
a
believe
word in the Urban
it's
Slang
only-
Dictionary.
It's only an actual word in one specific dictionary.
The Urban Slang Dictionary.
Yes.
And it actually now is a word in all of my dictionaries because when I actually type in the word ninja and if I miss the K, my autocorrect puts the K in front of it. So it's actually a word now.
Awesome.
Hey, Tracy. And Tracy came online. She gave
Yeah,
up
she wants to
on
win
trying to
stuff.
beat Brad on this.
Sorry, Tracy.
I went to go check if I still had your postcard from when I visited your office, if it was on your postcard, but it's not readily handy.
I don't think it is. So nobody has a guess as to what it means? Okay, so we have 2 questions that have stumped everybody. That's awesome. That's what I like. I like giving questions that nobody can answer. It means elite ninjas
Oh,
in the Urban Slang Dictionary.
You do realize, Juliet, tonight was not supposed to be competitive, okay? It was supposed to be for fun. Everybody is supposed to win, okay?
It was fun. It is fun.
I can't
two
believe
questions that were hard.
I just can't believe how much pleasure you get from people not being able to answer the question.
Juliet's having fun.
Having fun.
Doesn't have to pack up swag.
You're just glad you don't need another truck to pull it all out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and I believe this is our last trivia question, unless
Ooh,
Steve, you have any more, but this is my last one.
I do not.
Okay, so name 3 app partners who in the last 2 years have been bought out by big conglomerates.
T-Sheets, HubDoc.
Auto entry.
Entry, that's the third.
Auto
So you guys split it 2/3.
Zero. Zero.
Oh, Zero bought HubDoc. T-Sheets
okay.
was bought by Quick Intuit.
It's
And Auto Entry was bought by Sage. Is that all
And
within the
Chronobook
time frame?
was bought by
Auto
Intuit.
entry. Yep. Okay,
Very
so
good.
those were between different people though.
Yeah, so you guys split. I'll let you go for it because I think it's
Okay, so it was
impossible.
Tracy. Okay.
Tracy got 2 and Sarah got 1.
Who's
That
the
was
one
my
that
last
got bought
question.
this week?
Who got bought this week? And
Well, that
WayPay
was,
was the other one. They were bought by
Oh,
RBC.
okay, yeah, RBC.
Who was bought this week?
That was
Was it,
Plaid.
Plaid.
I
Visa
don't
bought
even know what
Plaid.
Plaid is yet, but
It
it
was
was a
bought by
big deal.
Visa.
It seemed Visa bought
Yeah.
them. What is
Yeah, I've
Plaid?
never even heard of them.
I never heard of it.
I think it's Scottish.
Payment solution, I think.
Okay, Stacy had 2 in the chat, T-Sheets and HubDoc, and then she gave up. She couldn't think of the third. Okay. All right, so those were my trivia questions. I'm done with trivia. So we got lots of
Applause for
prizes.
everybody. Applause for
So
everybody.
do please send me your, yes, congratulations to everybody. Do send me your address and t-shirt sizes, and then I can send this stuff off to you this week.
With postal code, please.
Yes. Address, well, I said address. Does that not include postal code?
It's
Okay.
amazing how many times we get an address with no postal code.
Okay.
Where do you want it sent to?
Any email that you have for me is fine. Any Kninja email, or even the one that the newsletter goes out. If you hit return or reply, it'll come to us. We'll get it.
Facebook. Can I do
And then Heather
Facebook?
will pick them up next week.
Do you
All
want
right.
us all knocking at your door if you post your address on Facebook, Brad?
You were saying email it. And I said, how about Facebook Messenger?
Oh, I missed the
Um,
messenger part.
No, not
Yeah,
Facebook Messenger, please, because then I can't forward them to Heather. Because Heather in my office is going to be packing them up.
Works
She
for
doesn't know
me.
it yet.
I was
So
gonna
hopefully
say,
she
does
till I
Heather
tell
know
her.
we're doing this?
Well, Heather will pack it all up next week. Okay, so we've got about 20 minutes left. A couple of things I want to talk about. One was the trip, which we've already kind of talked about.
When
But
are we
I
booking?
guess-
When are we booking that again?
Well, I come back to how serious is everyone about doing it? Like, would you want to
I'm
do
serious.
a
I would do it.
small 10 to 20 people mastermind retreat at some really high-end private?
When? It depends when.
Well,
Like, are we gonna go somewhere hot and sunny in the summertime? And
no, it
then,
wouldn't be.
yeah.
Steve and I
so
did
there's-
go once in the summer and we couldn't breathe.
There's IPBC I'm going to in September, and then,
It wouldn't be in the fall, so it would have to be spring.
so next
It would
spring
have to,
or this spring.
depends how quickly we can all get together and get it organized.
Okay, well, I'm a tax preparer, so spring doesn't work for me.
Okay.
Me either.
Yeah. May would be fine.
The one
So
important,
I guess the question is forget about timing. How serious, if we could get the timing to work, how serious would people be about going?
Like a
What's the agenda?
10-day kind of thing.
It's going to be a mastermind, and we've had a couple. Honestly, I've not thought this through because I posted it literally this afternoon, and I'm thinking it through as I'm talking to everybody. There would be some work there. There would have to be for it to be a conference. My thought is that depending on who's going, maybe it is solving a particular pain point that everybody has in the group. If it's 10 to 15 people, then I think that there's probably going to be some common challenges that people are having. It could be brainstorming. It could be it could be a strategy session, building out the strategy for your practice. Honestly, it could be anything.
What I'm wondering is the length. Like, would it be 7 days? Would it be 10 days? Would it be 2 weeks?
I think we're getting down too many rabbit holes here.
Yeah.
How about we just talk about concept? As a concept, is anyone interested? Then we worry about the details later.
I would be.
I
Okay.
would be too if I get enough notice that I can save.
Okay. Okay.
It would be fun to go to, depending on where and how much.
Yeah.
When.
Yeah, me too. I would be interested in learning more.
Me too. I like learning, and in a small group like that, I feel like you can really learn.
Yeah, we would want it to be small. Like
otherwise, it gets too. Sometimes the conferences are awesome, but there's so many big concepts, and so to narrow some of that down to and there's so many things that different people really know. I feel one person is never the expert in everything. So when you have a group like 10 whatever people, you can really start, because someone is really good at this and the other person is really great at that, and it's nice to really have the time to dig into everyone else's knowledge. It's great.
Yep.
Okay, so Stacy said she's interested as well. Okay, so we're at 4.
Corporate worlds do retreats, they call them, and then they kind of have something that's a learning experience for all the, usually it's just managers or something like that. Maybe incorporate something new that would be something everybody would be interested or at least learn something about.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think there's enough interest, I mean, even from this small group, that we can at least pursue putting it out there to a larger group. And maybe the plan is for, this thing between January, March of 2021, because you're going to need time to plan it and book it. And
yeah, I mean, my thought is it's going to be very informal. It is not going to be a QB Connect. So don't be expecting that you guys get a whole bunch of swag and that you get all of the entertainment that you get, because I'm not doing any of that, because then it won't happen. It's going to be a lot more informal than that. But yes, the whole point is that everyone does get something out of it, and that it is a learning and sharing. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, it depends on the timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know for sure spring doesn't work at all for me.
Yeah, and the challenge with the fall is it's conference season, right? It's back-to-back conferences for everybody.
But what we've also learned when you're trying to plan an event that involves more than you and I, you're not going to please everybody.
Right.
Yeah, so Stacy said, is it like brain dates? So yes, it would be like brain dates on steroids.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In a nicer venue.
Longer than a few minutes.
I was surprised how good those brain dates were. Like, I was really impressed with that, actually.
Yeah. No, it's a great concept.
Great idea. And I know they had some glitches with the software, but I thought it was a fabulous idea. And I think they got a lot of great feedback on it.
Yeah.
So we'll do it again next year. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So we've got a couple minutes left. I'd like to talk about next week. So next week we have, it's going to be kind of an interesting, it'll be an interesting week, I think. So you guys are going to have to tune in. So the topic.
It's going to be a very full screen.
It's going to be a very full screen, yes. And it was actually, I'll tell you guys a funny story. So I ran into someone who is not part of our industry and not part of our network. But
You're
because
nobody.
they are, but because they are friends with me on Facebook, the Wine and Whiskey Wednesday showed up in their feed because I must have commented it on something. So it showed up in their feed. And so they were talking to me on the phone and they said, and they said, what was that thing, where it was the Brady Bunch people on the screen? What was it that you guys were doing? And I thought it was hilarious that they attributed us to the Brady Bunch, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
On FNL on Friday, they did the recorded one. Right? It actually went 2 hours earlier than it was supposed to. Because
how did they do that? How
you can actually program something to come on Facebook Live. That's what Hector does. Do you think Hector's going Facebook Live every 10 minutes during the day? It seems that way if you follow Hector, because he's got these videos playing, but you can schedule them. So you can schedule a pre-recorded video and it comes on as a live. So it came on, like Andrew told me they were doing it, but all of a sudden it started playing at, I think, 7:30 my time. It's usually 9:30. So it was way earlier than usual. Yeah, and so we were all kind of following along and getting into it. And then Hector Garcia's dad showed up. Did you see that? And he's like, hi, son. And he thought that Hector was live. So he kept asking questions. And then I was responding to a few of them. And then he PM'd me. And it turns out that he knew who I was. And we got into a political discussion, south of the border. The politics down there are very interesting right now. And so we had a little conversation. And he says to me, he goes, you think Hector is blunt and to the point? He goes, he's tame compared to me. I taught him everything I know and then some. He was hilarious. Yeah, Carlos Garcia, Hector's dad. So it's funny how people connect into these things. And because it was earlier, he never, like, who the heck logs in at 11:30 at night on Fridays, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's why I watched it and I was on it because it was at 9:30 and I thought, cool. It's oh, sorry, Shannon. I just saw that you were
too late.
back.
You guys have a good time, but it can be too late. So
yeah, 11:30 is past my bedtime. Oh, the other thing I realized when I was watching all of or watching some of the past wine and whiskeys over the last year was we spent a lot of time talking about my pool.
That's true. We or you? I guess we all did.
I think it was me. I'm pretty sure it was me.
I think so.
We were humoring you.
Yeah, you were all humoring me. So I appreciate that. But I was surprised at how many of them talked about my pool, or there was some mention of it. Okay. All right. So next week, as you guys know, so the theme of the Wine and Whiskey Wednesdays, I've had too much wine, sorry, is HOT, which stands for Hiring, Onboarding, Team, and Training. And so next week's Wine and Whiskey Wednesday, we have a whole bunch of guests coming on board. We've had some guests over the last couple of weeks, which I think is something that everyone is enjoying, having a guest come on and talk about a particular topic. But our topic next week is going to be building a business with someone in your family. So whether you're married to them, like Steve and I are, whether you are sisters, cousins, what other relations do we have?
Parent, child,
sister-in-law,
their daughter.
Yeah, I don't know if we have mother-daughter. We have sisters, we have husband and wife, sister-in-law, and yeah, I think those are the relationships that we've got. So we're going to talk about building a business with someone that you're related to and the dynamics that go with it and the challenges that go with it. And I'm frozen?
No, you're still moving.
Okay. And so I think it's going to be a really interesting discussion, but we've got about 10 people who are coming on as guests. So as Steve said, the panel is going to be really full next week, but we do want you guys to still come on.
That's 10 couples, right? Or is it 5?
No,
couples?
10 people, 5 couples,
Okay.
5 partners in business.
Okay.
Yes. But I think that we'll have some interesting conversations. So that is going to be next Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then in February, and I don't know the date, it hasn't been finalized yet. It's going to be a topic on building teams from an entire part-time workforce. So rather than hiring full-time people, hiring only part-time people as part of your team, and what that looks like and what the challenges are, what the successes are, what the pros and cons are. So that's going to be one of our February topics. And
again, we're going to have guests on that one too, right?
yes, there will be guests on that one as well. But no, it should be great. I think so. Make sure you join us next Wednesday, and we've got like 9 minutes left. We're actually early. I don't have any more trivia questions.
Well, maybe one of the things that we could throw out there is, are there any specific guests that you would like us to try and get on Wine and Whiskey? Someone you think would be a good guest, would be interesting to the community, doesn't even need to be, part of our community, because we can certainly all learn stuff from people outside the community.
Lisa Campbell.
Okay.
Sorry, Sarah, who did you say?
Lisa Campbell.
And is she in our industry?
Oh yeah, she's a CPB and she's part of the pure bookkeeping system.
And why do you think that she would be a good guest?
She is an amazing lady who's very inspirational and has a lot of knowledge to share.
Okay.
Where is she located, Sarah?
Pardon?
Where is she located?
I believe Mississauga.
Oh, okay.
Can I Google it? Can I Google now?
Yes, now you can Google.
You're an adult. You can do whatever you like.
Anyone else with suggestions for guests?
Well, it says Burlington, so you guys, the Markham Group is her company.
She's in Burlington. Okay.
Yeah, Lisa Campbell.
We may need to reach out to her anyways. Okay. And we were thinking as well whether or not to bring on guests like Dan, who is completely outside of our industry, and bringing in guests with a different perspective. Sometimes we get too buried in the weeds with all of ourselves being in the industry. And one of the conferences that Steve and I attended, it was 2 years ago now, wasn't it? In February, the Business Excellence Awards?
2 years in February.
Yeah, and it was amazing. It wasn't an industry conference, but it gave us such a different perspective because it wasn't an industry conference, and all the ones that we've been going to were industry. And so what are your thoughts on that, of whether or not having guests who aren't in our industry?
No, I mean, I think it's a great idea. I mean, we had great feedback from having Dan on. So I think that's indicative of, I mean, there's lots of
people. But Dan is also really cool. So
yeah, I mean, I love Dan, but he's not the only cool person not in our industry,
Okay.
I'm sure there are others out there.
So what does everyone think of that? Having guests on, not in our industry?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There's only so much accounting and bookkeeping talk we can have.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Our world gets too small. I like Rhonda Lynn.
Okay.
They promise she's across a million time zones.
It's probably suck.
But she, depending on the time, she makes herself available, and she is a great. She's great when you put the camera in front of her. She's very quotable. It's kind of a PG, not a PG-13. What's the rating above that? She could be pretty funny. Did anyone ever watch her presentation or her cloud accounting podcast from San Jose?
No.
Watch it. or listen to it. I mean, it's pretty funny. And she actually had Larry tongue-tied at one point, both Larry and Blake.
And that's pretty hard to do.
Yeah,
David, Larry, and Blake Oliver are pretty on the ball.
Oh, it was hilarious. Because she doesn't mince her words and she doesn't pull punches. And she's not, she can be politically incorrect at times, and she pulls it off, and she got them. It was really funny. I laughed so hard.
I'll reach out to Rhonda Lynn. I think the challenge with Rhonda Lynn is going to be time difference.
Yes, it's a big one.
She's in
But
Australia.
sometimes it's like a day ahead, and it could be, I think Australia is always in the future. It's probably 6 o'clock. Yeah, it's probably like 4 a.m. or something over there, but you never know. Give her a shot.
Well, and maybe we're able to do a pre-recorded live thing if we can figure out how to do that.
You'd be surprised. Rhonda Lynn, she is Canadian, and she misses she considers the Canadian tribe to be her family. She doesn't really have a lot of close colleagues down in Australia. She told me that when she was in San Jose, she feels that the Canadian tribe is her tribe. So you'd be surprised. She's been on FNL before. So
all right. I will ask her. I will reach out to Rhonda Lynn. Anybody else that you guys can think of that you'd like to have?
No, but I do like the idea of outside the industry, like we said. That's the problem. I can't actually tell you anyone outside. That's the whole point. It'd be great to give you a name, but I don't know any names outside because it's so small sometimes.
Okay. Well, that's what we will do. I believe Juliet has frozen again. It must be very cold in that room.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm frozen.
Hey, why don't we get Jade Simmons on?
Okay.
I'll put in the word.
I can see myself moving. Nobody else is moving, just me.
This is we're not moving. No other reason.
Okay, now
we're just relaxed and chilled.
Right, so maybe for 2020, we just need to break down and get me a new computer, Steve.
Okay. Does that mean we both get new computers?
No.
Oh.
Yours is working fine.
Yeah, no thanks to you. No thanks to you.
Okay. All right. We are a minute away from 9 o'clock.
Okay, so do you want me to finish it up? Might even finish in a minute.
Yeah, you can finish up since I'm frozen.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with this week's quote because this was the one that I had actually planned for this week. So this week's quote is, perseverance is the hard work you do after you, perseverance is the hard work you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you already did.
Nice.
Have to think about that. It's kind of deep, that one. And I guess, as Juliet said, everybody would love if you would subscribe to our new YouTube channel. That would be awesome. And we've also had lots of people grab our workbook for helping you set your goals. Again, it's free. It's over 20 pages that we put together, really going through the step-by-step process of what we use when we're doing our planning and our goal setting. So I think you might find it very helpful. You can grab it on the kninja.net website. It's completely free, and we'd love for you to get a copy if you didn't get one already. Although I'm sure everybody who is listening to this has already made all their plans for the year already.
The next decade. I'm set till 2030. Yeah, no problem.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, if you believe that, I got a bridge for you.
And also, again, thank you very, very much to everyone for supporting us for the last year. It's been awesome. We really
whole year.
And we will try to make sure the next year is even better.
Sarah, that green screen is messing me up. She disappears. Go behind your green screen.
Yeah, I know.
Look at that.
That really is, wow.
She's a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thanks
Good
very
night.
much.
See you,
Have an
everyone.
awesome week.
Cheers.
See you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Bye.
Night.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.